Did you just receive a pair of roller skates from MoxiRollerSkates.com and you're thinking, are my skates mounted correctly? Well, I'm Shane and I'm the mounting director over here at Moxi Roller Skates, and today we're gonna go over a few things that'll let you know if your skates are mounted correctly. So the two most common questions and concerns that we get are my plates lined where they're supposed to be? Because they look crooked to me, or do they roll correctly? A lot of people like to take their boots and roll them and see if they roll straight. So the first thing we're gonna go over is, should the middle of the plate line up with the middle of the seam on the boot? And the answer is no. And we will go over that when we use a Snyder tool in just a moment. But a lot of people think that when they get their boots, they see this line right here on the front of the plate, and they're wondering, why is it so much to the right, or why is it so much to the left? And the reason is because the center of your foot is not necessarily where the center of the boot is. And now we will go over the process of when I mount boots and why and how you'll see that it will not line up with the middle. So what we'll do is we take our boot and we actually line it up with the back of this, and then we make sure it's nice and snug. And as you can see here, it's gonna line up with this line right here, which is actually on the outside of the seam and outside of the toe box. It's actually not with the center of the seam, it's just a little bit to the right. Now some of you may be looking at your boots and going, I don't know, it is pretty close to the line. Should it be like that? And the answer is yes, it can be close to the line, but it shouldn't be perfectly on the line. And you may see one a little to the left or one a little to the right, and that's okay because the center of the boot may not always be the same. The second biggest misconception is the roll test. A lot of people, they pull their skates out and they go, oh, I know, I need to do the roll test to make sure that they're mounted correctly. And so they put them on the floor and they roll them. And maybe one goes to the left and they automatically think, my skates aren't mounted properly, I'm gonna return them. And that's not always the case. What you really wanna do is once you get those skates, you wanna make sure that your wheels are not too tight or too loose. You wanna make sure that the trucks are in the pivot cup and they're straight. And you also want to make sure that when you put it on the floor, that if one wheel is lifted up or lifted down, adjust your trucks accordingly. And most importantly, find a clean carpet, put those skates on and see how they feel, and then you'll truly know whether or not they're mounted correctly or not. If after everything we went over today, you're still thinking, I don't know, I think my skates still might be mounted incorrectly, before you return them, please reach out to cs@moxirollerskates.com so they can answer all your questions. And hey, maybe they are mounted incorrectly, maybe they're not, but we're definitely here to answer all those questions for you. Well, that's all I have for you today. So until next time,